Hi, I'm Lexi Rao, and this is my occupation-based kit. It's called Dressed Up Desserts. I made it for a 95-year-old individual. She used to work as a restaurant owner with her husband when she was younger, but she's retired now. And she used to work in the kitchen, and she also helped serve, so baking and cooking were really meaningful occupations to her, so I tried to theme it along those lines. One of her client's stated goals was that she wants to work on lower body dressing and upper body dressing. She wanted to work on like buttoning and zipping and just the fine motor aspects that come with dressing, and even like pinching to like pull up your pants. So I tried to incorporate a lot of activities in here that will exercise those fine motor muscles. So my PICO question looked at what intervention is going to be the best possible way to increase fine motor manipulation when you're looking at dressing. So the literature that's already out there basically stated that you could use a compensatory approach or a remedial approach. So that was what I kind of compared the two. I looked at this as more of a remedial approach, and then compensatory approach is looking at adaptive equipment. And the research stated that you'll get benefits no matter which approach that you use, and it's about equal benefits. So basically, the research article stated that some elderly individuals don't take well to adaptive equipment as they might lose it, or they don't find it necessary in their routines, or they just don't know how to use it. So it's not user-friendly to everybody. And then another research article that I looked at talked about, it compared two groups where one was completing a functional task and then one was completing like a tabletop task like a puzzle, and then it just happened to be cooking in that research study, and it stated that there were more positive benefits with functional motor manipulation, increasing the strength and all of that when you're completing a more functional activity. Hence, Dressed Up Desserts.
So the diagnosis of the individual that I made this kit for is just general debility. So in her hand, she struggles with fine motor manipulation when it comes to ADLs like dressing. So in this kit, as you can see my demonstrator is doing right now, we're specifically targeting aspects of dressing such as buttoning as she buttons on the chef apron onto the cook on the occupation-based kit. So as my demonstrator goes down the sequence of this kit, you'll see different objectives such as buttoning. Now she's about to tie a ribbon to tie on the apron. When she goes to the next step, she's going to be using a pincer grasp to pick the cotton balls out of the whisk. Over to the left side, you'll see the spoon with the little beads where she's able to practice radial and ulnar deviation as she follows the recipe and adds 2 tablespoons of purple beads and 2 tablespoons of pink beads. So again, just moving in those muscles to indirectly relate to dressing. So when relating this to the occupational performance of the individual that it was made for, a lot of her deficits had to do with fine motor manipulation. So in doing different tasks like these, like taking out those cotton balls, you're increasing that force use of the extremities, and the more movement that you get in a tight joint or a weak joint, the more that you work it, the better outcomes you're going to get to decrease any decreased occupational performance. So when we're looking at best evidence or best practice to facilitate goal achievement, this kit integrates a more remedial approach. So as she's taking off the Play-Doh lid, and next you'll see her grab the rubber bands and she's has to stretch it out to put it onto the roller. She's really working those muscles, which is more of a remedial approach to remediate any deficits or muscle weakness, that was lost along the way. So as I had mentioned earlier, one of the articles for my PICO project, stated that a remedial approach was going to be beneficial to someone with hand muscle weakness. So she is using this remedial approach by working those muscles, pulling out that Play-Doh, pulling apart those rubber bands. It's going to strengthen those muscles, again, the more that she uses them. And then, as I had mentioned earlier, one of the studies that I had looked at compared those who were completing a more functional task like cooking versus someone who was doing a tabletop activity like a puzzle, and those who were completing the functional activity ended up having better results when they were trying to remediate their fine motor deficits. So as you can see, she's basically doing an occupation-based top-down approach where she is like rolling out Play-Doh or cookie dough, and now she's going to take the cookie cutter and pretend like she's making a cookie. So very occupation-based, which matches right along with the evidence. And then also, when looking to facilitate goal achievement, obviously a key role of an occupational therapist is to get their client to buy into therapy. So doing something that she loves, like cooking, it's fun, and she probably doesn't even realize that she is working so many different muscles as she kind of goes through the cooking obstacle course. So you can see in the kit, she's starting to wrap everything up and put her extra dough away. And then she has an Easter cookie, which she'll throw in the oven and bake at 375 for 20 minutes. And she has an Easter cookie. Thank you for watching.